Midnight Madness. Yeah. Yeah.
Got this midnight madness.
Midnight Madness. Midnight
Caught in the middle of midnight madness.
You got the midnight madness. You're gonna get it, the midnight madness. You're gonna get it, the midnight madness. You're gonna get it, the midnight madness. You're gonna get it.
And now the Midnight Madness Show, where it's always sunny and 82 degrees. Here's your host, the DJ Doctor.
Good morning, sunny, 82 degrees live at the Midnight Madness Show at 7 p.m. Central Time. Coming to you on the 13th floor of the Skyrise building in Manchester, Tennessee. We're glad to be back here with you guys tonight. I am Mark, the DJ Doctor. To my right, two-time internet backgammon champion, the hillbilly heartthrob. How you doing, Jason?
I've never played backgammon a day in my life.
Well, then I must read it on the internet. It's always true if it's on the internet,
It's on
right?
the internet, yeah.
It said you were a two-time champion, but you never played backgammon.
No,
Do you even know what backgammon looks like?
it looks kind of like checkers.
Okay. Well, you know more about it than I do. I just pulled that out of my head when I came up with it, so I didn't know.
Well, that's better than going out the other end.
Yeah, I guess. Well, it's better than you 20 minutes ago. So now that we got that out in the open.
Everything's aired out.
Yeah. So we got Jason to my right. You took your hat off.
Yeah,
Why?
that's a little warm in here.
Oh, okay. I haven't turned the air on because, due to Harvey and Irma and all the other, things here, it's kind of cool here in Tennessee. It's a little chilly here today.
No.
Yes.
Might
It
want to
kinda
turn the
is.
air freshener on.
Turn the air freshener on.
Breeze.
I got two of them hanging underneath his chair. It ain't doing no good.
We're going to write a song about that. Call me for breeze.
I hear you. Oh, man. And to my left, we have the one, the only Miss Velvet Presley. How you doing?
I'm cold.
See, she's chilly, too.
She's always chilly.
Chilly. Well, she just
What are you
came up
trying
from...
to say?
Nothing.
Well, we got her for another week, and then you go back to Florida for a couple of days, and you're coming back, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll have her. I don't know if we'll miss a show with you. Are we going to miss a show? You're going to be gone to her?
No, because when I was making my flight back to Fort Lauderdale,
I talked her into waiting one more day.
he said, don't go on Tuesday, go on Wednesday. And I'm like, okay. But you know what I did? I messed myself up because I have to be at work at 3 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. So that gives me Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, and then Friday I got to drive the U-Haul back.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yep. Well, Jason will help you unload it all, I'm sure.
it's not the loading. No, then you have to come with me.
No, I got to work. I can't. I
Ah,
got a show
hey,
Friday
you
night
might-
and Saturday.
See?
Hey,
I got a way to do that. Be a
I-
musician quick.
Rebecca, you need to go help Rebecca because I heard there's a gas shortage in Florida right now.
Jerry will be here all week. Try the veal.
Oh, that's terrible. You guys are all terrible.
Hey, you started it.
Yeah.
And I said that with an S. I could have said that with another word, but with another letter. But to Miss Velvet's extreme left, we have Awesome Andy. How you doing, Andy?
Feeling cozy, fall weather's here now.
See? Everyone's a little chilly. Just you. What's wrong with you?
He's hot.
That's it right
There
there.
it is. Brian's got that on the air. It's recorded. He's going to have that snippet. I'm hot. I'm hot. Rebecca said I'm hot.
I believe it's coming up from the waistband. That's what's making him hot.
Yeah.
But you have to remember, Jason over here, he's kind of like, cold-blooded. He's a snow cone. He's from Michigan,
Well, see, I'm from Wisconsin originally, but it's just a little cooler. I like it.
We're
The
not
difference
gonna
is you're 20 years older than me, so that makes you
We're not going to get back into the
Fragile
Ice Cube
and-
story. are we?
18, wait a minute. 18.
I mean, all I know is you're about to get hurt live on internet radio.
Yeah, we're not getting back into the Ice Cube
Yeah.
story, right?
no.
Just
then-
wanted to make sure.
manning NASA control down there in Pulaski, Tennessee, where it's always beautiful weather down there. How you doing, Brian? The IT guru genius?
I still have an ozone layer down here, so I'm good.
Yeah, he has an ozone layer, so he's covered. He's fine. So, anything new and exciting going on in your neck of the woods, Brian?
Absolutely.
Well, let's hear about it.
Anything you can talk about, or is that for another
It
day?
just did. It's fantastic. No bad news. No nothing. So it's fantastic.
Good. I mean, you're sound like you're in a happy mood. You were singing on the air tonight, so sound like
I
Brian's
am.
up and running. Yeah, you were kind of humming a little earlier, and then you were doing your Beavis and Butthead noises, which was pretty cool. So
Oh,
that meant
that
you were
wasn't
in a happy
singing.
mood. No,
But thanks.
no problem. Tonight, our special guest, Jason, is
The one and only Mr. Jerry J. Thomas.
Big Country.
Big Country himself.
Yeah,
now,
they-
the other guest, Obra, couldn't make it. Now, if you guys remember last week, I said if either one of these guys don't make it, I go kick some ass in Crossville. So tell Obra I'm coming for him.
Hey, I'll help you.
Oh, you said
Well, I
Crossville
mean,
over there.
There may be
reminds
some
me of-
formaldehyde left up there.
And Oprah's got a casket for you.
That's what I'm sure he does.
What was that, Brian?
That reminds
it's
me.
a-
Remember last week, Jason said that. So now that Jerry's there, do you want to clarify what you said last week?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now Jerry's standing in front of you.
I said if either one of these guys, cancels, I'm going to have to kick both their asses.
Jerry, you're gonna have to step up on the ladder to
I
get
just-
Jerry.
I just got one thing to say about that doctor. He's nothing, he's poop, he's doo-doo, he's low as he can be. That's why he's a jockey here at WFMC.
Wow. There's a new little theme song.
I waited all month to think that up for you, Brother Jason.
I like the song, but he also referred to the jockey as that way, so it refers to all of us.
Right.
So Jerry, that kind of hurt my feelings. Kind of hurt my feelings a little
doctor,
bit.
I didn't
He
mean
refers back to himself, too. He's a DJ, too.
I didn't mean to hurt your feelings there, doctor, but, you're scraping at the barrel when you go getting me back, Well, I don't know. Jason's still a little bit down there, right?
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't want him to lose his friends in low places.
Well, since we're kind of segueing about Jason and music, don't forget this coming Friday, the Down South Jukin Band with the one and only Big Country Jerry, who's here tonight as our guest. We got Jason Adams, we got Richard Brown. Perry Thomas may be here in just a few moments. We're hoping Perry is going to show up. He'll be with us that night. And then myself, we're playing the Warren County Fair, the school stage, which apparently is right behind the main stage. This coming Friday from 5 to 7. So come on out, support this band. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to play some originals. We're going to play some covers. We might play some requests if you ask the right ones. If you don't, we ain't going to play them. So anyways, we don't know that one.
We might fake them.
And
We've done that.
And if they put the request on $20 bill, we'll learn it right then and there.
Right then and there. So, but come on out and support the Down South Jukin Band, Warren County Fair. It's family friendly. It's free to get in. Again, we're the school stage, so check us out. You're going to see Jerry, our guest tonight. He's going to be there, so we'll do some of his stuff. We're going to do some of Jason's stuff, and then after that, who knows what's going to be played? There's a lot of good stuff. I know a lot of good people are going to come out and check us out. So,
And if they want to take pictures, they're allowed to do that. Just bring a wide-angle lens for me and a shaded lens for Jason if he don't put that app back on.
there you go. We'll be here all week. Try the veal.
That's child abuse. You realize that.
So if they're still on the air, we want to say hey to heatfmradio.com. Chris, we appreciate you putting us on your radio station. Tonight we got one guest. We're going to do some songs. We're going to do some storytelling. It's going to be a fun night tonight. So
These are the nights that just kind of go crazy when we have these problems.
yeah, you might want to put your kids to bed early tonight.
Please do.
You never know. You can tell by the opening monologue here. We're in trouble. We're out of our league.
He's
So
already gassing it up.
yep. So Jerry, why don't you play us a song real quick, and then we'll get into find out a little more about you.
Anything I want, or
Sure.
Sure.
You got a $20 bill, you can write a request down on it.
We're in trouble then. It's going to be a long night.
Let's see, we'll do, well, if I give my love to you, would you give love in return? Is this something you would do? Or am I just a bridge you'll burn? I can tell he done you wrong. It is showing in your eyes. For I give my heart away, you must let his old flame die. When old flames are burning, new love ends up in smoke, and you find that you are hurting, and that your heart's been broke. I would give my love to you, but you must realize, before I give my heart away, you must let his old flame die. Well, it's true that I want you, but what else can I say? 'Cause you're married to another, now he's taking you away. I would spend the night with you, but you must realize, before I give my heart away, you must let his old flames die. When old flames are burning, new love ends up in smoke, and you find that you've been hurting, and that your heart's been broke. I would spend the night with you. This you realize, before I give my heart away, you must let his old flame die. Before Jason gives you that Dutch oven, you must let his old flame die.
Don't light a match.
That's for Brother Jason.
It's going to be quite a night, I can tell already.
Yeah. Terrible.
It's been a month. It's been a month since I got to be with you guys.
It's been a while since you've been here. It's been a little calmer.
Yeah, I used to be here about every other weekend. Every other week we do this show together, and I'll get back to it soon.
Yeah, but you've been a busy man. You've been playing all over everywhere. Tell us kind of what some of the shows you've done. You've done Murfreesboro and Mount Eagle.
Did Murfreesboro, and Jason and I did the Jim Oliver's. Always a fun place down there to play. Did a flea market up the road, and then of course my father passed away, so I was doing a lot of his taking care of his funeral, and then some of his estate business and all that.
Yeah.
And then writing some good songs again. Andy and Ober Carter and myself and David Graham and Mr. T. We all got together and wrote a couple songs Thursday that we're real proud of. I may later on try.
He wouldn't even invite me.
He was invited, but
I had to work. I couldn't get out of it.
yeah, that excuse is good as any. But we needed him up there because Andy he said he come out after the writing there that night. He sat there Thursday night and he told all of us, says, I got to try to get back down home. I only got a quarter tank of gas, and we could have used Jason up there if he'd have been there. You know, may have been propane, but it might have worked.
Methane, yeah.
Okay, I'll leave you alone, Jason. I won't.
No, you won't. Don't lie.
Well, you know, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't pick on you, brother.
Tit-pit me, what?
Well, no. Well, what do y'all want to
And
talk
you
about?
liked it.
I know things just sprout up. It's getting dark early outside now.
It is. It sure is. No longer sunny and 82 degrees on when by the time we go in the air for real. You know, it's
Man,
dark and it was in the 60s today probably.
Before you know it, you're going to hear them little sleigh bells and see all them little lights. I mean, this year's gone by really, really fast.
It has. It has. We want to throw out our condolences. They've been a couple of deaths since the last time we talked in the music world. We lost Troy Gentry.
Yes.
A few days ago in a helicopter crash. He was only 50 years old. You know, that's sad to go that young. That's tragic. I don't know if they had mechanical failure or pilot error or what happened, but
Well, we actually have information on that.
okay, we'll talk about that in a little bit then. And then on the same day, we lost Don Williams.
Yeah,
a legend.
I wanted to cry that day.
Yeah,
The
that was,
gentle giant.
yeah, he had a great voice, So we'll do tribute to both those guys on our next vinyl show. Did we get a date for that yet?
Yes, we do.
What was the date on the vinyl show?
I believe it's the 24th. Let me double check.
Okay. We do a vinyl show once a month.
It is the 24th, yes.
It is Sunday the 24th. And make sure you tune in to us. This one is going to be all about states. It's going to be with states in the title or about the cities in that state or artists that came from that state. There's some states that are very few and far between artists. Alaska, you need to step up to the plate a little bit. I know it's cold up there, but get out. You get out and play some music here once in a
When
while.
it's springtime in Alaska, it's 40 below.
Wow,
Man.
what a segue there, wasn't it?
Wow.
But yeah,
Way up north.
and then places like Georgia and Florida and California, boy, Texas. Put it to the music business, boy. They've sprouted out a lot of great talent. But we'll be doing that on the 24th. And so we'll be playing some of the stuff from Don Williams when we get to his home state, some from Troy Gentry when
You
we get to
know,
his home state.
Wisconsin put out some pretty good musical talent as well.
We've had some.
Bobby G. Rice is from Wisconsin, I think, originally.
Bobby's been on our show.
I know
Yep.
he has, yeah.
Yep.
We needed to have him back today.
So we got you got Robin Zander from Cheap Tricks from my hometown.
Yes.
And you got
And probably the best sheriff in all of America is from your Milwaukee area.
the best sheriff.
Mr. Clark. Yeah, he's no longer sheriff. He resigned a week or so ago. But
Oh, okay.
He's working for the president now. I think.
Oh, okay. Yep. We had Liberace too, if you can believe that or not.
Liberace
that
was
explains
from
a lot.
Wisconsin. I don't know if I'd even mentioned that.
Yeah. Liberace, Les Paul, Steve Miller. We had quite a few up there.
Well, Les Paul and Steve Miller's cool, but
Yeah, and you know, we had a lot of great talent come to Wisconsin to go to school there. Boz Skaggs and those guys.
I don't have
Oz was bad.
Yeah.
I don't have any Liberace records, so we're out of luck.
Oh no.
You know, I went and seen him in concert one time down in Jacksonville.
That explains the get up you're wearing tonight.
Yeah.
I don't have a single Liberace.
I wish
I
my
mean,
brother
tell you
George
what,
was here.
You know,
Yeah.
all joking aside, though, that old boy was a very extremely talented
Yes, he was.
entertainer.
Yeah.
I mean,
He kind of got the same thing Little Richard got. You know, he's so flamboyant.
Right,
You
exactly.
forget the talent that really what they got.
Right. Well, his brothers would have to be from up there too, George, but
Yeah.
that was way before my time. I think
Yeah.
George passed away years and years ago.
Yep. I didn't look that one up, so I just saw him himself, and I was like, okay, well, we got to put it down. But you know, they were quite a good amount of talent. You know, and of course, Jason's from Michigan, so a lot of good talent came out of Michigan. You know, so we were playing a lot of that. And of course, good old Jerry. You're from what's your hometown, Jerry?
Well, I'm born in Ironton, Ohio.
Now, there's some big names came out of Ironton. There's a couple
Bobby
of names.
Bear.
Bobby Bear came out of Ironton.
It's right there across the river from Ashland, Kentucky.
Okay.
And you had Bobby Bear from Ironton and Cowboy Copus
Yep.
is from up the road, Earl Thomas Conley.
Yep.
Ashland has Keith Whitley and the Judge and Ricky Skaggs and Larry Cordell, and I can go on and on.
What I
can't
found
name
out
them
doing
all.
the research for the show, it's really weird geography where it just kind of a certain area, maybe a tri-state right in that section,
Right.
had all the musicians. and the rest of the state didn't have a whole lot come out of it.
Well, you know, Daryl McCall and Diane McCall and all them from up in that area, and so is Hawkshaw Hawkins Sr.
Right.
And old Daryl wrote a song, It's in the Water, It's in the Water. That's what I think it was, that old Ohio River water.
And that old down Muscle Shoals, same way all the musicians out of Muscle Shoals area.
But I was lucky. I got to only be there. Well, I mean, I'd go there in the summers and stuff, you know, to see grandparents and whatnot. But 6 months, maybe a year old, I went to Jacksonville, and that's, to me, that's my hometown. That's where I was raised, went through school, and I lived there until I got my first divorce, and then that town wasn't big enough for me and her, and so I went to Central Florida and down to Key West and everywhere else. So.
Now, musically, when did you start getting into the music scene?
Probably, probably 4 or 5 years old, because I have a great uncle. His name was Jimmy Gilday, and he used to play steel guitar and piano, and played with Hawkshaw Hawkins and Gene Shepard for a lot of years on the road with them. And when I was a real small kid, I would watch him play piano and play guitar. He played regular guitar as well, steel, but you know, and it just always fascinated. It was in my family, because I grew up with my great grandmother. It was his mom and them, and when I picked up guitar, probably 5 years old or so, I'd sit between my Uncle Jerry and my great grandmother, and she played violin or fiddle, whatever you want to call it. And if I messed up, she'd whack me across the head with that fiddle bow. So it didn't take you too many mistakes before you learn. You know, that's not how you play that. So.
Boy, that couldn't happen in today's age, could it? Grandkids would be suing grandma.
Well, you know, I mean, the TVs that we had when we was growing up were black and white. I mean,
Two or three channels.
The rich, yeah, exactly. And the rich
Signed
people
off
are
at
the
midnight.
ones that had the color TVs. And actually, the one that we had two of them, because we could get sound on one and just picture on the other, so we'd have to correspond them. Thank God, if it was today, we'd really be lost. You know, because all the channels you get today. But my grandparents, there was 11 of us, and she, her and my granddad raised pretty much 11 of us, except during the school year I'd be down in Jacksonville. And then in summers, I'd come back up to Ohio and stay with her all summer. So there's probably, you know, they didn't have a lot of money, but we had a lot of love, which is, so we'd make our own entertainment.
Yep.
We would watch stuff like Ernest Tubbs. Me and my granddad get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, because he was always an early riser, and roll his cigarettes, and already had 3 or 4 cups pots. Somebody else got up, you know, but I'd be up there with him, and we'd sit there and we'd watch the Ernest Tubbs show that was on in the morning. Buddy Starcher, let's see, we had Buddy Starcher, and then we'd watch, of course, the Grand Ole Opry. Just a ton of shows. Jimmy Dean, you know, just a ton of music shows. But other than that, we never watched really anything other than Bonanza or Gunsmoke.
Right.
You know, or Have Gun Will Travel. Some of the westerns, some of the great TV shows. That, But always
No brag,
music.
just
Always
fact.
music. So we would always have music going in the house, you know, pretty much, because my grandmother, she was a classical piano player. So I never did. Even to this day, I'm not really, I respect that genre extremely high.
Right.
But I'm not a classically trained. You know, back then, you know, if it didn't have no words to it, I didn't want to really hear it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but, and you know, so I got, and I guess people like Bobby Bear and people like that was all, you know, because they were from around the area, I was always looking up to folks like that. So.
Right. Now, you get down to Florida, you're playing a little bit of music, you know, trying to grow up down there. You go to school with some people that kind of made a name for themselves down there.
A bunch of them.
Yeah. You went to Robert E. Lee High School.
Robert E. Lee High School, and I'm still, I don't know if people agree with this or not. I'm not getting political, but leave my damn school's name alone. You don't need to change it.
Yep. I agree.
But
Did you hear about the guy off ESPN got let go because his name was Robert Lee?
Right, the Chinese guy.
Yeah.
It was stupid. I mean, it's so stupid. They were moving all these symbols, and I've always grown up to think, of course, I'm not, like I said, I don't like to get political, but I'm a Trump supporter, so I'm automatically a racist. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm labeled a racist, and a couple of days ago, I actually went out and celebrated my 1 year anniversary since Hillary Clinton called me a deplorable.
Right.
So yeah, and I think it's so stupid that they take the flags. I mean, if you erase where you come from, then you forget where you're going to go to.
It's historical. It happened.
Exactly.
It's historical. It was raised as a battle flag. Let's just get to the American flag. I heard yesterday SMU did not want to have these little American flags on the grounds because it could offend people. You're in America.
Right.
If that flag offends you, there's planes going overseas every minute of the day. Get on one.
Thank you, Doctor. And the way I feel that if these colleges in this country refuse to fly the American flag, then by God, the United States of America should not give them any kind of damn money to fund it.
Amen.
They're only for the children as long as their parents are paying money or they're getting grants.
Right.
So
Give the grants up. Don't give them grants.
Remember who you are, and I'm all for grants if you earned it and you deserve it. I'm not saying. What I'm just saying is, if that American flag offends you, you're in the wrong country.
Well, the thing about it is, you got that right, and I'm 100% behind you. And I'm
not even a veteran. I'm not a veteran, but I support them 100%.
I am a veteran. And
Yes, you are.
And I'm proud to be a patriot, too, to this day. You know, and it's like I tell people, my oath of enlistment never expired.
Right.
And if my president, I sit through 8 years of a president, and this, of course, I'm 60 years old coming up, and I've been through a lot of presidents now, and there's been some that I voted for and they didn't win, some I voted for and did win, some I liked and some I didn't like.
Right.
But you ain't going to see me go out and destroy people's property and all that and cry like a baby because somebody that I didn't want in there got elected. It's stupid.
Yep.
If you don't like the president of the United States we have now, get off your ass and go out and vote for somebody better but you better find somebody better than Hillary Clinton. Because that's where they went wrong. And I listened to her the other day, and I've known the Clintons ever since they was in Arkansas as some of the most evil, lionist people, and she blames everybody but herself.
Right.
And that's the way this generation's going anymore. Nobody wants to take responsibility for anything that they do.
Exactly. So we'll wrap up the politics. I'm not a political show. I could be one real quick, but I'm an American show.
That's right.
We're about America. We're about American music, about American people, about American workers.
Let's do a political show.
All right, let's do a political show.
Let's do a political show. I want to be the first one to donate $1 to anybody that don't like this country to leave.
Yeah.
All them actors.
Attica. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Actresses and all of them talk a big game about how if Trump's elected, we're going to leave.
Then go.
And there ain't none of them left yet. What's going on here?
Yeah, I'll help them pack. I'll help them pack.
You do know that Brian's serious.
Yes, I know.
Okay, so what day of the week is this
Yeah,
happening?
no, Brian's ready to get on a political rant, and I don't want to turn the show into a political,
Brian,
another 2020 or something.
I love you, Brian, but I don't know. There's a lot of people in the music industry that's real liberal thinking, and that's all right. I have no problem with that. I defended their right to be liberal just as much as I have conservative.
Right. As much as it ticks me off about Colin Kaepernick,
yeah,
you gave him the right to do what he's doing, or Marshawn Lynch the right to do what he's doing.
Exactly, and also
it ticks me off, but they're taking it to the fullest.
But I also gave the owner the right to fire his ass and never hire him in the NFL again, too.
Right. And who was that? The Kansas City Chiefs or the Cleveland Browns owner? One of them.
One of them's probably going to
I think it's Kansas City Chiefs.
I understand where he likes to protest on certain things, but he's going. I personally, now this is just my opinion. It's not concrete, but I think he's going about it the wrong way. There's other ways he could do.
I agree. Stand up for the right and then protest off
That's like
air.
the Confederate flag issue, and all these Confederate monuments and stuff. If you want true equality in this country, then let's get rid of Martin Luther King boulevards, Ralph Abernathy boulevards. Let's just erase all of our history and see where this country ends up.
I do think it was pretty funny when they were talking about removing, rebel images of power or leadership. And Jason sends a picture on Facebook about them taking Colonel Sanders out of KFC.
Oh, yeah, they got
I thought that was
another one.
hilarious.
Yeah, he did.
You
I've
love
seen
it.
that.
There's
And
probably
I
people
think
that want to do that.
and somebody also was removing, what was it, Ronald McDonald's statue because it offended Taco Bell.
See where we're going with this. I mean, this is the problem with us. People are taking this too far. So let's change the subject. Let's get back on the music thing. We're done with the politics. If you're mad at us,
We're sorry.
I'm not really. I'm not really. I just we need to be Americans. Focus on America first. Focus on this country first. If it ain't about your family and your kids and your safety and your security and your livelihood and your income and everything about being an American, then you're in the wrong country.
I'm working on a new song. I haven't got it ready yet, so I won't be playing it tonight. But old Ricardo and myself been getting together, and I was reminiscing. What was it yesterday that the 16th anniversary of 911.
That's hard to believe.
And I'm thinking of how our nation came together, and they're doing it now with the hurricanes. Our nation's there's still good American people out there that want to help everybody.
Right. And thank you, J.J. Watts.
Right, exactly.
Unbelievable. Poor guy was only trying to get $200,000, donated $100,000 of his own money to get halfway there. And what's he at, 20 million or something?
No, he's over 30 now.
30 now.
Yeah. But,
what a great guy.
The new song that I'm working on is going to be similar about the kind of, that's the way songwriters are. The latest news, but the title of it's called "The Eagle Cried."
Oh, I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
And it's going to be about how so many people in these universities and all that's just taking advantage and taking things for granted. I've got friends of mine right here in this town, Tullahoma, close by, doctors and stuff, and they're real liberal, and I have no problem with them expressing their views, but I'm like, you have never seen what some of the folks that's went through Vietnam has seen, and what some of them folks that went through World War II and Korea has seen. You've never seen, and you never want to see what may happen in Korea today. And like I said, my oath of enlistment never expired. And if my president ever needs me, even though I'm old and out of shape, I can still shoot pretty good if I need to.
Well, they did. They did. Do a study. I mean, you're talking about these boys that are 18, 19, 20, their hormones are raging, and how many times a day do they think about something other than shooting somebody? They need to bring people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s that's secondary in their life, and let them really shoot up some stuff.
Well, you're right, Rebecca. And the thing that really makes me sick the most is to see these kids stomp on my American flag, because I think of a lot of, I'm a Vietnam veteran, Vietnam era veteran, and I had a lot of friends that never made it home, except under that flag. They were stretched out under that flag. And to desecrate my flag, they want to get rid of everything. And if they really studied their history, you look at Robert E. Lee, and if you really get into history, he never had slaves, but U.S. Grant, on the Union side, he owned slaves, but I try to
George Washington did.
Exactly, and that's why they won't finish until they get the American flag down.
Right.
And my whole thing about it is how can anybody, me, you, Mark, anybody, be held responsible for something that happened 160 years ago?
Exactly.
You can't, there's no way. I had people, if you look in most people, and I'm sure a lot of people, if they go back through their family history, I had a great-great-great-grandfather that was killed on the Union side and on the Southern side. So that's what that war was all about back then. It was brother against brother and cousin against cousin and son and father against each other. So, it's something that we should never destroy, statues, but we should learn and leave them alone to sit there and see that we never make that mistake again. But I don't know where the thinking is. I think it's too many liberal professors and stuff. I don't know. I'm not a qualified person to talk about that kind of stuff, but anyway, the music, I'm a songwriter, so I'll write about it.
There you,
There you
go.
go.
You're the next Bob. And you got Bob Dylan hat on. US 61.
I do, yeah.
Are you a big Bob Dylan fan?
Man, I love Bob Dylan. If you're a songwriter and you don't like Bob Dylan, you're anti-American, aren't you?
There's just a few handful of songwriters that people always look at, like Willie Nelson, Dolly Parton, Bob Dylan, Neil Young.
Earl Thomas Conley.
You know, I mean,
Adams.
Jim
Jason
Croce.
Adams, yeah,
Jim Croce.
yeah, and then
Christopherson.
yep. Those are kind of like, you know, the staples of songwriters. A lot of people.
My two favorite songwriters, well, three, actually two of them's passed away now, was I like Guy Clark, one of my all-time favorites, and then I always loved Harlan Howard because 3 chords and the truth himself, and I guess so today. I've really been getting into Larry Cordell because a lot of the stuff that Larry Cordell writes, it's amazing. A lot of people, if they'd look, I was studying him the other day, and his songs, now, not Larry Cordell himself, but the songs he's written, he has had over 55 million songs sold.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, my gosh, just as a writer.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So,
And I know if Uncle Larry's listening, he'd want to throw Harry Chapin into the mix.
Harry Chapin was genius.
He was. Harry was a regional guy. Like from the Midwest, none of us heard.
Pete Seeger.
Yeah, but Pete Seeger. Yeah, the Seeger. Yeah. But Harry Chapin was one of those on the East Coast and down south. Harry was huge.
Yeah.
But in the Midwest, Cats in the Cradle is all we knew him about. We knew more about Don McLean and Jim Croce and John Denver. And
I love John Denver. I mean, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I've always been a big John Denver fan.
I understand that you're a huge Barry Manilow fan, too.
No. Somebody lied to you there, Jason.
Andy told me.
You got to overlook Andy, awesome Andy there. You don't think they call him awesome for just any reason.
Well, right. Well, let's go back to Robert E. Lee High School.
Okay.
Some of the people that you grew up with and hung out with there.
Well, I was actually, we'll go back to Ruth N. Upson Elementary and John Gorey Junior High. I grew up with a lot of these. The first person I ever went to school with was in Ruth and Upson was an old boy named Tommy Williams, and I used to play drums years ago, and I didn't like sitting still. I mean, you don't sit still. I mean now.
I was gonna say, I'm sorry.
But I thought, well, man, I want to walk around, so I traded my drum set for a 1978 SG, or no, it wasn't a 78, probably 68 SG Gibson, one of them old ugly Gibson. So come to find out, Tommy Williams was actually his mother. He's the nephew to James Taylor, which is another genius songwriter.
Oh, yes, he is.
So I got to meet James Taylor, and that really got me into the guitar, then acoustic. Even today, I mean, I've played Telecasters and Les Pauls the whole 9 yards throughout the years, but if you notice, when we're all playing together, I never do nothing but acoustics anymore because it's just that real, I'm a tone freak, okay? Yeah. I love the wood tones. And
the unique thing about James Taylor is he didn't, your finger structure, when you finger chords, he don't do them right.
No,
They're like
don't
backwards.
But he teaches. He teaches if you want to learn how to play guitar. He actually teaches on his website now.
Oh, does he?
He gives lessons on his website, free, by the way.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to, of course, he's teaching them the stuff that the songs he's written and had hits with over the years. If it wasn't him, Carole King,
Yeah.
But
love her too.
she's a genius as well. But
you don't have tapestry.
Then I went, and that was in grade school and junior high, and then we went on over to Robert E. Lee, and there was some boys that came over from Lake Shore Junior High, and well, Tommy and all of us got this little group called together. We played a lot of stuff like Grassroots and things that were popular in the day, and called ourselves the Royal Satins. Stupid name, but what the heck, you know?
Oh, yeah.
All of us had matching satin shirts. You
Wow.
know, you remember the old Western shirts? They were satin.
Yep.
That's what we all wore in jeans.
What color?
White and purple top, or purple on the shoulders, and then the white buttons, the pearl buttons.
My favorite color.
And so we did that, and then we got playing at different battle of bands, and like there's a place down there. It's a big church called Good Shepherd, and they'd let bands come in and have dances for the different schools and stuff, and we was playing those, and that's where we run into, of course, Ronnie's and the Van Zant boys. I lived a block away from them, just down the street from them, and we had known each other, but I never knew they really was playing any music until we were doing stuff at the Good Shepherd, and we heard that they were doing stuff in the garages, but they were playing places like Forest Inn and different places, so they were playing the clubs because they were older than us.
Right.
And so then we
That
started
was
hanging
probably
out with
Ronnie and Bob Burns, probably Alan, Gary, and probably Larry.
Larry Johnstrom.
Yeah.
And probably Ricky Medlock, I believe, was involved. I mean, we all grew up within. You have Ricky Medlock, Johnstrom, Jeff Carlisi, Ronnie and Donnie and Johnny, Bob Nix, J.R. Cobb, Buddy Bowie, Dave Lubeck was across the river, but Banner Thomas and them, all of us that was a bass player for Hatchet, all of us grew up within a little area called Murray Hill. There was Murray Hill and Lake Shore. There was two little areas there. It's like a 4-mile radius. And so we all grew up together and played in different clubs. And if you didn't, I remember when we got to a different band, we called ourselves Crossover with a bunch of different guys. Whenever Ronnie and them would get overbooked, or Donnie or them, they'd call us. Well, all the bands worked together back then.
Right.
Hey, man, we can't do this because we got this. Can you fill in over here? And, we were always helping. Hey, here's a gig over here. Cause
That's a lost art today.
It is. The musicians work together, and if somebody got sick, like, we had a guitarist, everybody's talking about guitarist, and probably one of the most awesome guitarist I ever heard in my life. His name was Jerry Korcher, and he had a BC Rich guitar, and dude could play it with drumsticks, his teeth, and everything else. He had done that stuff before Stevie Ray Vaughan ever did it.
Right.
And so it was never, say Gary would get sick, or Jeff Carlisi or somebody got sick. Hey, Jerry, can you fill in for us? And Jerry Courts would go over and fill in, or if you play rhythm, hey, can you? So we were always working together. Bands supported each other. All of us were playing 6 nights a week. Only day we didn't play would be Sunday. And sometimes either a Sunday or a Monday, because some clubs, they play Sunday night and you're off on Monday.
Right.
Real quick before you go much further, some of the listeners out there may not know these people by name. So let's just throw the band names out
So the
there.
band name, okay, you got Leonard Skinner, 38 Special, King's Ransom, Molly Hatchet, Blackfoot, Atlanta Rhythm Section, Phil Driscoll, Doyle Dykes, Classics 4, Gator Country. And then if we go into different genres, we had Sam and Dave, the Cornelius Brothers and Sister Rose, and a couple of the guys that ended up being in the, Lionel Richie, the Commodores.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all of us grew up around that same area and went to either Jacksonville or Nathan Bedford Forest or Paxson High School.
That's getting one. I was doing my research on our vinyl show coming up. Again, right there in Florida, when you go Jacksonville. It just all. I mean, there's tons of great players all up and down Florida.
Yeah, man.
I
played
Tom Petty.
Tom Petty. I played a circuit in Jacksonville, and matter of fact, for a long time, I played with Monty Yoho, that was a drummer with the Outlaws.
Right.
And he come off the road, and I was in a band with him. We played in what was called the 92 Club on Highway 92 outside of Kissimmee, Florida. But you have the Miami Sound Machine. You had what was the old boy that put on your boogie shoes.
Casey.
Casey and the Sunshine Band, and so and then of course Santana lived there quite a while,
Right.
a long time down in Miami. He wasn't from Florida originally, but
Right.
so I mean, it's just a whole melding pot.
Yes.
Of
Don Felder from the Eagles was from there.
yeah, well, Hoyt Axton, he's one from. He was actually he was born in Oklahoma. He was raised in Jacksonville. Went to Robert E. Lee High School. You know, so I mean, so you get this melding pot, and that really opened my eyes from not just the Bobby Bears and the Cowboy Copuses and Hawkshaw Hawkins, but I'm sitting here all of a sudden getting some of these Puerto Rican and Cuban influences and the rock and roll. I've always told people Southern rock, if you really listen to the lyrics of a Southern rock, is nothing more than a country lyric with rock and roll music put to it.
Right.
And I remember sitting there watching the Allman Brothers. They lived in Jacksonville for a long time.
Yep.
Before, and I remember going to Friendship Park and watching them guys. They'd put on free concerts just to get tight. Of course, they didn't stay free long.
No,
I mean, but for several months, I remember during the summer, for several months, they'd go to Friendship Park or someplace like that, and they'd just put on just a huge jam. And I mean, I remember going, and it be sun be hot, and it done went down for several hours, and the mosquitoes was eating you up, because listening to.
So you saw the original lineup of the Allman Brothers?
I did,
Boy, that's great.
and even today you got groups like Limp Bizkit come out of Jacksonville, and you got Derek Trucks.
Yep.
Him and Susan Tedeschi live on the Julington Creek Road, which is right down from where Alan Collins' home was. So when Alan was older,
Right.
when Alan passed away, that was his home, and they just 2 or 3 doors down from where he lived. So
I just think it's fascinating, all the people that are in that area that all went on to fame and fortune and classic artists. I mean, you're sitting right underneath the poster of Leonard Skinner of the era from 1977 and earlier. All those guys were basically neighbors. Of course, Steve Gaines was originally from Mississippi, didn't he? Then he went to Oklahoma?
I remember him being raised in Oklahoma, him and Cassie, but I don't
think they
know
were
where
born in Mississippi.
I believe they were born there, because I think that's, if you remember, he's done passed on now, but in the newer version of Skinner, they had a bass player by the name of Ian Evans, and he was from Mississippi.
Okay.
So Ian Evans, tied in there somewhere, had been known them for years as well. So, and I don't know if they had gotten in with, gotten to know all these guys. Now, I know how Steve got into the group was Cassie, because she was one of the Honkettes.
Yep.
But as far as I don't know if they had played together and he'd been in a band, opened up shows or whatever, but they seem to have that tie with Mississippi a lot. The Muscle Shoals and all that eastern Mississippi area.
Of course, people forget that Dwayne Allman was one of the original Swampers.
Yes, he was.
He's one of the guys that brought music.
Derek and the Dominoes, man.
Yep. And when you got him and listen to Wilson Pickett's "Hey Jude," that's all Dwayne Allman did. Dwayne said, "Let's play that song," and Wilson's like, "Are you kidding?"
And he worked on some Aretha Franklin stuff too.
Yes.
Muscle Shoals.
Yeah, we got a great version. Jason's got
Eleanor
a great
Rigby,
version. You got a great version of Eleanor Rigby that's done by Aretha Franklin. With the Swampers on it.
It's amazing how they're, again, like you were talking about tri-state and Florida and all, and Texas and all that, but you look at Muscle Shoals, and Florence, Alabama, and Memphis, all that little hotbed right there.
Unbelievable
Tupelo.
amount.
It's just unbelievable because a lot of them folks, you know, if you ever notice, most of them come from I call them shanty towns, but
Well, that's
small little individual, and they didn't have much money. They had blue-collar parents.
Yep.
So, you know, it's like Ronnie and the Van Zant boys. Their daddy was a tractor-trailer driver.
Right.
You know, he built the house that they were born in, all three of the boys, and they had 3 girls. And all of them were born in that house that he built with his own hands. So, you know, and they didn't have a lot of money because Lacey was a blue-collar worker, just like my parents and all were, you know. So that's why, I guess, you know, everybody was, I mean, even if you go down to Jacksonville today, you know, you can see some bands down there like Robbie Morris, Shantytown. That's the name of the band.
Yeah, I played with them guys a year ago.
They still keeping it going, you know. So.
Yeah, and the one's got the Donnie Van Zant look. I can't think of his name. Which one of the Rob?
There's Ronnie and Robbie. Little Ronnie's the singer that got the Donnie Van Zant.
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
And then Robbie's the drummer.
Okay.
You know, and then you got these old boys with there again, that same neck of the woods, LaGrange, Jimmy Farrar, and all of them. But now you got the Blackberry Smoke coming out of the LaGrange area and Noonan, Georgia area. So, I mean, you're talking, I mean, that just, I don't know. It's an amazing time in the 60s and 70s and 80s and probably won't never be seen again.
Well, I don't think so. I mean, just going through the list, what we've done over the 50 states.
The worst thing ever happened to the music industry is 2 things. Number 1, the computer, and number 2 is this doggone karaoke stuff. Because it actually put live music pushed off the side. Right. Because of most of these, well, you was in the business yourself there, Doctor, you know. Hey, if I can get somebody in here singing karaoke for $100 a night, why would I want to pay $600 a night for these guys to have to come in and play? You see,
right.
So you know, but I mean, to tell you, I still wish we'd go back to the 6 nights a week.
I miss those. I
do
love
too.
those. I mean, that's when you hone your chops, man. When you're doing 6 nights a week. That's a long time ago, but I love that.
The first actual guitar that I ever bought myself was one, and I've been looking for one ever since. I haven't found one yet, but if I can ever find it, I'm going to grab it. Believe me, boom. And I've asked you, since you got a music store, keep your eyes open. I bought myself a Peavey T60. Mm-hmm. Do you ever play any of those? And then the bass was the T40.
T40, yep.
And they were heavy. But
T40
boy,
sitting right over here.
Yeah,
in a case.
Right, and they made down in Mississippi, Meridian, I believe, is where Peavey was.
Yes.
USA made.
Yes.
And now, if you have a music store like you do here, you know, they're just people, you can get them for $400, $500, $600, but people's getting them and sitting on them.
Oh, yeah.
Man, you know, another 20 years from now, they're some of the best built guitars I ever played.
Just to touch on Peavey, last year, I can't remember when it was, June or July, I went down. Well, no, it was October.
Almost a year.
Yeah, I went to Mississippi, and on the way to Mississippi, I went through Jackson, Mississippi, and I went to the football field that Walter Payton played on for Jackson State, you know, all that stuff. But I got a chance to go through Meridian, and I stopped and went to the Peavey. Now, there's several different Peavey buildings there in Meridian. They moved some of them, but I went to the main office complex there. And just missed Hartley Peavey by 20 minutes. Just walked out the door to go to lunch. And the guy goes, man, I wish you'd have met him because he'd have sat and just took you off the side and talked to you. He loves to talk about music. And you walk in, and here's Hartley with everybody. Pictures of him, everybody in the music business. And I remember as a kid when we were scrounging to get amps and scrounging to get – we had a PA system with an old reel-to-reel, TAC reel-to-reel tape player that if you took the tape out and you put it in the record mode and you sang through a mic, it would come through the speakers. So we'd use a TAC tape player as a PA system. And I remember when we started getting some equipment, the cheapest stuff you could get, if it didn't say Realistic from Radio Shack, was Peavey. And so we'd buy Peavey. And I remember being in a band one time that all we had was Peavey equipment. Heavy. It was like picking up a small block Chevy engine. Heavy, gaudy, monstrous heavy. Sounded good, and I remember we used to get teased about, all you guys can afford is Peavey, and these guys would have, Marshall and JBL and stuff like that, and you guys can afford. And then I watched John Kirsch's rock concert one night, And here's Leonard Skinner on TV, and they're rocking it. All they had for PA systems and gear back there was 90% PV. I thought, well, if it's good for Skinner, we're going to do okay. I still have some of that original PA and PV gear from the 70s still here in this building, and they still work.
Well, you know,
We still use it.
We still use it.
A little secret about them though is on Skinner that I don't. It may be exposed. I don't know if anybody's ever talked about it. But Gene Odom and Kevin Elster and them guys that's worked with them ever since the beginning, they just had the cabinets because they were Marshall guts.
Right.
Because they, you know, I mean, Alan, he was real particular. It's almost like Blackberry Smoke doing the orange amps now. The
Right.
orange, you know, just you got personal favorites, so they'd have them gutted and put in Marshall. But Peavy was a big sponsor to them, you know, so I mean, don't get me wrong, they use Peavy as well. So, you know, but there's a lot, you know, just it's amazing. But Peavy's still going strong. It's right up there from Marshall.
Great stuff.
You know, it's good. I mean, we're using some right now.
Yeah, right here on the show.
Now,
So
we've been talking now for 45 minutes. Why don't you go ahead and pick up a guitar and play another song? And
I play anything I want.
anything you want.
Anything I want.
As long as it's
I'll
not a
give you
Jason
25.
Adams tune.
I'll give you 25 cents for that one.
You know, while we're thinking about it, we're going to have a guest coming up on this show here shortly. Jason was telling me I look up to a lot. He's also one of my producers and probably one of my very, very dearest friends, and his name's Gary Clardy. And he makes, well, you all have seen the guitar he's built me, but he builds a guitar. But I wanted the reason I bring him up to try to help bring him on the show, but we lost a Collins. The luthier down in Texas that made Collins guitars here about 3 months ago or so. But I'm gonna do my cowboy song because it's Andy likes this.
Turn your volume back up on your guitar.
Okay, it might help. This is not a Peavy. This is a Fishman. Anyway, this is from my old buddy Awesome Andy over here. He sits tall in the saddle as he rides through the canyons. His horse, his companion, that he calls Old Joe. At night round the campfire, his mind often wanders to the little old Bitterroot Mountains of his youth long ago. Sorry, little
That's
brother.
the words right there.
I got him. I knew I'd get him. Now he rides southwest of Dillon along that Lost River Range. After 85 years of living, he's back in the saddle again. So ride on, cowboy, ride on. He once loved a girl and her name was Mary. Her eyes shine like stars in the Montana sky. But then came the spring when she took the fever. He knelt there in prayer, sweet Mary died. Now he rides southwest of Dillon along that Lost River Range. After 85 years of living, he's back in the saddle again. So ride on, cowboy, ride on. He thinks of old partners that's gone on before him, to that great golden roundup up in the sky. With the wind at his back, he will ride on to greet them, and to ride with his Mary in the sweet by and by. Now he rides southwest of Dillon, along that Lost River Range, after 85 years of living. He's back in the saddle again. So ride on, cowboy, ride on.
I love that.
Great job. Great job.
Thank you.
Now, in 2016, you and Mr. Doug Supernaw were inducted into the Texas Country Music Hall of Fame.
I'm embarrassed to talk about that now.
And you were also inducted into the Georgia Hall of Fame the same year.
I'm embarrassed to talk about that too, because I still don't know what I did to deserve it. But I'm going to take it before they forget. I told them when they gave me them plaques, I told them if you want them back, you got to come to Crossville and look for them, because they're going home with me if you made a mistake and you realize that. You know. But yeah, good Lord blessed me there. I guess some people like some of my stuff. I don't know, but it's a great honor to go in with my buddy Doug Supernaw, and it's even more of an honor to get him finally get back to recording again.
Now, he's on your label, correct? This new
He's
album.
on B&G Records, which is a good subsidiary type. My label's called Texabilly. And we couldn't actually expose it or promote it like he needed to be promoted. I've got an artist that you're going to have on here next month, Wayne Douglas Bros, that his album's on my label. And I love that label, created that label, so maybe I shouldn't say this, but I will, because I don't care. I'm not here to win friends, but Nashville, I think, has spent too many years putting screws to people. You don't need to spend $20,000 to make a good album. And that's why I put that, and I made it the guys that are my partners is Troy Bates is retired. Well, he's not retired. He still plays around Texas, but he was Dwight Yoakam's fiddle player for a lot of years. And then Pat Grogan was the owner of the Big D Jamboree for about 50-something years, and he's also lead guitar man on the Big D Jamboree band, house band. So
Myself, I'm looking forward to my next album because I know who's going to produce it.
I appreciate it. I'm honored to do that. We're working with Obra Carter now. Matter of fact, I dropped off the single of Obra's to.
I've heard that, and it sucks. I don't know who you had singing.
Obra, if you're listening, you hear what he's saying now? No, we're just teasing, brother. But, man, I'm real excited about Obra. Tall guy. He's one of the few I look eyeball to eyeball
I got to
to.
get on a stool to kick his butt, too.
But he's a very humble man, and man, a good singer. And
Yep, good
you know,
voice.
he's only in his 40s, so he's still got a lot of road ahead of him. You know?
Oh, yeah.
And I know Dr. DJ and Jason and all them. I know we'll all get him in the right direction.
Why don't we go ahead and talk about the paperwork you got there, Rebecca, then we'll come back to Jerry.
Whichever you like.
Yeah, you know, when we heard about Don Williams passing away, they said that the exact illness was not known at the time. And I just was doing a little research. It turns out that he passed away from emphysema.
Big smoker for years.
Hint, hint.
They called him. They called him the General Giant.
General Giant.
Yes.
But you know, he weren't but 6'1".
Just a little bit shorter than you.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'6" and a half, same height as Obra Carter, and Trace
Michael Jordan, I
Atkins,
think.
and let's see, what's that other old boy from up there in Waynesboro? Daryl Worley. All of us are up in that 6'6", 6'7" range.
Wow.
So
You found out some other interesting things,
yeah.
or if you want to spit them out.
What part? No,
spit.
you know, well, let's see. He had 17 number one hit singles in his career. I found it very interesting that he really didn't start singing until 1974. I thought he was around a lot longer.
I know he won Male Artist of the Year one time. Did he win it more than once?
Right. He didn't start singing country until 74.
Right.
He used to be with a group called the Poco
Seco Singers.
And they were back in the 60s.
Seco means dry. I don't know. Sorry. Yeah, it was a folk style trio that he was singing with. And then he moved to Nashville in 1970, and he started writing songs. And then the next year he signed a recording deal. But I mean, really, if you think about it, I mean, 1972, he does his own deal, and by 74 he had his first. Actually, 73 he did his chart debut for "Shelter of Your Eyes," and then his first chart topper was in 74. I wouldn't want to live if you didn't love me. So he was honored back in 2000 this year. The songs of Don Williams had performers. Lady Antebellum, Dierks Bentley, Chris Stapleton, Alison Krauss, and one of my favorite, Trisha Yearwood, paid him homage. And but it was, I remember seeing it, and I thought, okay, this is not real. I had to go on there to make sure it was before I told Jason, but I picked up the phone, I called him, I said, you're not going to believe this. And he was like, no! That was one of the...
All of my heroes are dying off before I can meet them or sing with them.
Yeah.
Right.
The restraining orders have not run out yet, and I can't get in contact.
All right.
And then the other information you found on Troy.
Well, yeah, I was looking up to see what happened with Troy. Of course, we knew it was a helicopter crash, but it wasn't planned. It was a spur of the moment thing. One of the pilot said, "Hey, would you like to take a helicopter ride?" And he was scheduled to. Yeah, he was scheduled to perform, and I mean, the whole town was going absolutely crazy about him performing there, but. It kind of makes you wonder. It was like almost like, come on, man upstairs, he's going to get you any way he can, so let's do it this way. But it sounded, it was kind of sad because who knows at what point, because they came down in one of those, what do they call those spirals when the helicopter starts going in a circle.
I don't know what they call that.
And landed in a field, and both he and the pilot were gone.
Now, I remember reading that it said that once he got in the air, they started having RPM problems with
Right,
the engine.
right. It was, yeah. And so, yeah. I mean, they were trying to help the pilot down, but it was just not going to happen.
And if I may interject here, if you don't mind, Rebecca, the Montgomery Gentry, the group that he was with, is there's a Crossville connection to them as well,
Really?
because Bobby Taylor wrote Hillbilly Shoes, which was their first big hit that they had, and he's from Crossville. So Bobby Taylor. So I mean, it's kind of like there again. We're back into this little zone where all these guys and look. I mean, I'm not saying this to be joking in any way. I joke with Jason quite a bit because he's like a brother to me. I cut up with
and
you,
and he deserves it. But anyway,
but Jason actually is he is a great songwriter. I love listening to his songs. Andy, since I've been writing with him, so I mean, it's just like. Not to take away from Troy, but there again, they were in that little Kentucky zone there around Lexington.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's just, I always say when the Lord's ready for you, he's ready for you, and nothing will stop it anyway,
I like Troy Gentry's song. I think that's something to be proud of. I was reflecting on that earlier today. I was thinking about just the meaning of that, and, we all measure success in different ways. Some of us, we think that, it's money that defines us, but in reality, it's the people around us that mean the most to us, and it's how we affect them personally and also, how we take care of them, because that's what people will remember. And that song, really felt like at one point, I was at that stage, where I was at financially, trying to take care of my family, and was thinking, well, here I am. Have I really done as much as I should? I mean, what's going on? And that song, I think it struck a chord with everyone, even young fathers, middle-aged what, and that's just one song that I'll never forget right there.
Music journalist and author Holly Gleason said of the star, "Nobody loved life more than Troy Gentry. Whatever adventure, all-night party, or hardcore hillbilly song, he was up for it." And when I read that, I said, that was really, really sweet of her to do that.
What's your favorite Troy Gentry song? Do you have one, or you just like several? Or
Yeah, I just...
Because my favorite would probably be My Town.
Yeah.
I love
yeah,
My Town.
yeah.
Now, I have a request,
What?
if you can remember it. My name is actually on a song that you wrote. You wrote here. Mm-hmm. Remember it?
The look on his face says, nope.
Alabama?
Yeah.
I haven't got the words good. David Graham's got them.
Blame it on David.
He does. And he's never got them typed off for me yet. But I tell you what I will do, if you don't mind, if you guys will let me indulge for a minute.
You are the star.
No, I'm not no star. I don't like that word. I'm just a songwriter, okay? But I'm gonna do I'm gonna do a song. Make sure I'm still in tune. This is this old J29 Gibson. I usually use my J200
With a few signatures on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to talk about that after.
I'll do this here. We'll do this in memory of Troy and Dawn, if you don't care. I ain't gonna marry in the spring. I ain't gonna marry in the fall. 'Cause I'm in love with a pretty little girl. Where's a diamond ring? I'm just a country boy. Money have I none, but I got silver in the stars, gold in the morning sun, gold in the morning sun. Never gonna kiss those ruby lips of the prettiest girl in town. Never gonna ask her if she would marry me, for I know she'd turn me down. I'm just a country boy. Money have I none, but I got silver in the stars, gold in the morning sun, gold in the morning sun.
I was going to sing along with you guys, but
That's all right. You guys can do it, but it's been a while since I played it. But I noticed Jason had put on his page that was one of his heroes.
Oh, yeah.
So I did that for you, brother, and
I
for
appreciate
Don
that.
too, for Don and Troy as well. So
see, Don's one of those that I've always looked at, like he's the guy that could be riding the big John Deere tractor out in the field, hop off and run in and jump in and sit on a bar stool and start playing.
if anybody ever patterns herself after Don Williams, they're patterning herself after a Gentle Giant. For
Yeah,
sure.
he
He'll
just
always
looks
be that.
like the all-American farmer cowboy. Get done baling hay and then go sing a song.
Now, I was blessed to see Don Williams twice in concert. And when you go to a Don Williams show, you basically know what you're expecting. It's not going to be flashy. There's not going to be any lights or smoke. He comes out, he sits in a stool, and he plays hit after hit after hit, and the crowd is singing right along with him.
Yep. And I know very few Don Williams songs, but of course, the one I know, "I Believe in Love." What a great song!
Oh yeah, I love that.
What a great song!
My favorite song by him is probably "Lord, I Hope This Day Is Good."
Great song.
I just,
Heartbeat in the Darkness.
I actually has way too many to say which one's the best.
I have never heard a bad Don Williams song.
No. Even old Tulsa Time was.
Yeah, even the album cuts were good.
Right. Anyway, what were you wanting?
Even
to
with the
talk
Poco
about, Rebecca?
Say-So singers, yeah.
Cinco de Mayo
When he's
band,
doing,
yeah.
Ruby Tuesday and
Down in Havana, they don't only make cigar, they put zippers on banana. Anyway, what were you wanting to talk about, little
Well,
Rebecca?
I took a picture of you and posted it on Facebook,
Oh my God!
and I want to know about the signatures on your guitar.
I got signatures on all of my guitars except my Clardy. Some of them, Ronnie McDowell.
I love him in Star Wars.
Not that one.
Oh, not that Roddy. No, okay.
Marty Haggard, Billy Dean, Nikki Nelson of Highway 101, Tim Atwood. Let's see, Lonnie Spiker, which I'm going to try. Lonnie Spiker, a really good buddy of mine. I'm going to try to see if he'll come down and do a show with us.
that'd be great.
Let's see.
But he won't let me sign
Buddy
it. He said that would
Jewell.
be you kind of ruin it.
Oh, buddy.
Buddy Jewell's on here, Marty. Actually, when I first got this guitar, my J200, I have a T. Graham Brown bunch of people that I've actually did shows or wrote songs with. They sign it. And when I first got this, it wasn't a week or so after I got this guitar that we did a thing in Nashville at the Palace up there called Country for a Cause, where we raise a bunch of money for a cancer family that has cancer.
And you walked off with the prize.
No,
okay.
I actually performed on that. So I was on that show, and these are all the people that were on that show with me.
Oh, that
So
is
we all
so
did
cool.
the show together. So
Pretty neat.
Now, the first artist you mentioned, Ronnie McDowell.
I got wondering eyes.
Oh,
yes,
great
it's
song.
True, I love the lady. Yeah,
I got to sing Older Women with him in
Yeah.
1999.
I love Ronnie, man. I first met him probably back in the. Matter of fact, I remember where it was. It was Melbourne, Florida's Fronton, where they play a game called Highlight, and they turn it into a concert hall when they weren't playing there or have wrestling, man. And him and that Soji Tiabaki or whatever, the Japanese fiddle player, they were there, and we was sitting back there, and me and him were. My wife at the time I was married to, she was a program director and disc jockey of the radio station that was promoting the show. And man, he just a trip. A good, low-key guy, and very humble. Very good artist too. I mean, painting wise.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've seen some of his paintings. They're awesome. Awesome.
But he's an earn. I like that. I'll make love to you in a New York minute. Take my Texas time with it.
Watching girls go by.
That's a good one too. It just anyway, we won't get on.
And here I am, old rock and roll hippie, going, what?
Man,
did I miss something here?
There ain't but two kind of music in this world, good and bad.
Bad.
I like the good kind.
That's right.
You know, and it don't matter what the genre is. 'cause
Although
I like-
some of the good stuff I like, you guys kind of frown on, like poisoning
No.
pigeons.
Yeah,
poisoning pigeons in the park.
in the park and Face from Space. That's the stuff Jason listens to.
Yeah, next week he's going to write one I think called Fuel Tank Frank.
Yeah. B-side to be Insane or Propane.
I love being here, and it's good to be back. This is like a home to me with you guys. I'm being part of the crew and all.
Yep.
Well, we let you be part of the band, so
Yeah, well, I don't know what I ever did. It's like that Hall of Fame stuff. I don't know what I ever did deserve that either, but, I take it while I can.
Yeah, we think it's pretty cool. We got to meet you through Andy, of course. Awesome Andy introduced us to you. So, of course, you and I have the Skinner connection. So when he goes, oh man,
And plus, we're the two old guys.
we're the oldies. We're the pillars of the band.
hey,
Yeah,
I am
there
back
you
to
go.
being the baby in the
No.
band this week.
No, you're back to being the baby, and you will not be the oldest guy in the band, Jerry.
I'll just put it to you this
No.
way too.
you'll be second
Perry's
oldest.
the oldest.
I
Taylor
believe
would be the
so.
oldest.
Oh man, that means that I can buy one of them boxes at Walmart of the pens to give to him.
Oh, I'll give you a quarter, a shiny new quarter if you do that. And we better have a camera ready. Be live on Facebook.
Hilarious.
Have that sitting by his amplifier when he goes on. Oh man.
Here's you some of them adult diapers.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, Ronnie will not be able to play with us this coming week and the following week at the show up there in Crossville.
You would hold your words.
So we've got a stand-in that's played for a long time with a lot of people. Actually sat and played with Chet Atkins, played with the Atlanta Rhythm, no, Amazing Rhythm Masons, I'm sorry. And sat in and played with quite a few people in his past. We're going to have Mr. Perry Thomas who's going to be playing guitar. He was part of the Jason Adams Band for quite a long time. He was part of Incognito. He was part of Double Trouble. He's been with a bunch of bands. So he's going to be performing with us, so make sure you come out and check out our band, Down South Jukin, this Friday, actually, coming up the 15th from 5 to 7 at the Warren County Fair.
I'll just go back to what I was going to say. I'll put it to you this way. I thought of Jason long before, I told Jerry about you guys, and I said, there's somebody down in Manchester, Tennessee, I think, that will fit your style of music, but there's also some other folks there that have a passion for songwriting as well, And I think it's interesting that just in a short period of time after Jason and everyone met, that all this kind of came together, as a group. And I have to admit, this band, Down South Jukin, I've told people about the band in McMinnville. I've promoted it left and right because I really believe strongly that the experience that will be on that small stage will be the equivalent to a lot of the other artists that are there.
Actually, that night will be more experience than we had with Ronnie Davis. Because Ronnie was the baby of the group, and Ronnie had a lot of experience behind him. But Perry's twice as old as Ronnie. He's been playing just since he was a kid. So,
well, if Ronnie's out there listening, Ronnie, you get to feeling better, son.
Yep.
I'm thinking of you, and we're all praying for you, pal.
yep, you got to come back soon. So get feeling better.
I don't know. This song was literally just wrote Thursday night, so it may be a little rough. I don't know. I'm gonna try to get through it and see what y'all think about it. If I get to it. The wind is gently blowing up against my window pane. Weatherman said nice today, but it damn sure feels like rain. Been a month now since she called me. I wonder where she's gone. She always talks to California and a Rocky Mountain home. Black Mercedes on the highway. She only wants a different life. As she burns Phoenix in twilight, me and that old Missouri moon misses her tonight. At night it gets so awful lonely. I know I've let her down. Her sweet kisses, they still haunt me. Perfume still lingers round. Her voice still echoes in the kitchen. I still want her by my side. As she's burning Phoenix in the twilight, that Missouri moon misses her tonight. Black Mercedes on the highway, she only wants a different life. As she's burning Phoenix in the twilight, I'm missing her tonight. She's out there running in the twilight, and me and the Missouri moon misses her tonight. It was rough, but that was close. But that's the one that was written by Andy and David Graham and myself.
I think you need to reverse those two lines.
Yeah.
I've done my part. My name can go on the song now.
I want to know why Missouri.
It just rhymed. Well, I don't know. I think of stuff like that. It's because of Missouri Moon. Missouri Moon sounds cool. I'm not from Missouri, but I mean, I've been through Missouri a ton of times, and I've hung out in Missouri a ton of times. But just the Missouri Moon, it kind of like kind of a catchy phrase, I guess.
Now, do you start your songwriting with a hook or a melody, or
I
just kind of all over?
I started that when they come up. I already had the music. When I write, it's hard for me to write a song and just sit down and write on paper. I usually have to have the music first, and I was just sitting there diddling. I'm like, the wind is blowing on my window pane. I say, the wind is gently blowing on my window pane. Weatherman said it's nice today, but it damn sure feels like rain. And that's all I had of it. And then they come over and we start putting all the rest of it together. So actually I was thinking, I mean, it's not nothing personal from my experience. It's just I know that there's someone in the United States, or Canada, I like to call it, Canada, somewhere in the world tonight, somebody really missing somebody, and so I try to hit home with what they feel.
Right.
So
the song was based around a relationship. The guy had pretty much realized that at one moment after a few weeks he had made a mistake, and and that was it. He made a mistake, and
Should we not all be raising our hands?
I think the Missouri Moonlight really is based on the fact that she was leaving, going back to where she was from. She just took off and said, "I'm relieving myself of this. I'm going on to try to find,
Whether
what
it's
I'm
Missouri
searching
or Indiana
for
or
because."
wherever.
I also have, and I also have this little band that I'm part of called Down South Jukin', and
That's a neat name.
I'm trying to put together some stuff that maybe we can all record together sometime.
That'll work.
And
we got to get in the studio sometime.
I'm a great big Pure Prairie League, and
He's a great big something.
I just like that what they call country rock, Eagle stuff and all that. So I thought, man, Jackson Brown, ooh. So I thought, man, if we're gonna play with Down South Jukin', we gotta have a little kind of country rock sound in there
Gotta have
too.
soul music to it,
Now,
not R&B.
In case people don't know where the name came from, it was an idea that you brought to the table, correct?
Yeah, and Judy, if you're out there listening, and Gary, if you're out there listening, don't you dare come suing me, because if you do, I'll turn around and I'll name it something else. We'll call it Can't Get No Satisfaction or something.
Yeah.
It was a Skynyrd song.
It's a Skynyrd song, yeah. And a great one by that, and not a lot of people know that song.
No.
If all you know is "Give Me 3 Steps," "Free Bird," "Sweet Home Alabama" by Skynyrd, you need to get the box set. Judy, I'm trying to help the cause too. Get the box set, get anything they've ever put out, and listen to it. They've got sometimes the best stuff is not the album cuts. Again, "Cry for the Bad Man," one of my favorite Skynyrd songs of all time.
Oh man.
It's just hit after hit, and again, they've done all that in 4 years.
Well, it's kind of like something I feel that all of us would. When I come up with that name, it's like I thought all of it fit all of us. It's kind of like it's us. That would be us. It is us on Fridays and Saturday nights. And if anybody out there needs a good band Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, let us know.
Yep,
We're
and the
available.
right occasion Sunday, I'll
we
be
work
there.
cheap sometimes too. We'll work for food sometimes.
Now I'm going to
But
tell you.
that's could be a lot dealing with some of these people.
Filet mignon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a DJ experience I had when you, based off what you just said. I was in Indianapolis, and when my band up there at that time, which was Aces Wild, or I was with a band called Denim and Lace, either one of them bands weren't playing, then I would DJ on the weekend and make extra money. And DJing is it's just party time. This is a lot of fun. It's easy money to make to me. It's way easier than doing anything in a band.
Using 8-tracks to DJ with them.
Yeah, no, 8 tracks. Used to do it with actually albums, and now, you're doing it with laptops. But, so I would do that. Well, I got a call from a friend who also did the same thing. And said, hey, man, I'm doing a Christmas show, and I've done this Christmas party for this group of family. Every year for the last 5 years, it's always the first Saturday of December. It's a Christmas party. And it's a big family gathering. And it's all Italian and Sicilian heritage. I couldn't tell you any of their names because too many vowels. But he couldn't make it, so he wanted to know if I would show up, and I would do it. And the money was good, and I'm going to get Sicilian food. They're going to serve real Sicilian food. I'm like, oh, heck yeah, sign me up. So I get there, and it's like right out of The Sopranos. And it's a little scary, but it's like right out of The Sopranos. And I'm like, okay. And there was obviously one guy that was the head of the 200 people that was there, because all he did was snap his fingers and point, and people ran. There was no, oh, wait a minute, Grandpa will be here. No, they ran. They went right to whatever he said he needed done. Well, then he looks at me, snaps his fingers, and asks me to come off the stage and join him. What am I going to do? I'm not going to float in a river somewhere. So I go down and go, well, can I help you, sir? He goes, have you eaten yet? I said, no, I haven't. Well, he sits down in Sicilian. He starts talking to his family members, and they start bringing me food. And it's authentic food from the motherland. He goes, this is the secret recipes. My nephew. My nephew, he got the homeland, the food from the homeland. And he starts talking. I'm like going, okay. He goes, it's top secret. He's a caterer. And so I ate these meatballs and these sausages and this food, and it was like cotton candy. It was melting in your mouth. And I had an ulcer at the time, and it was lighting me up on fire, but I couldn't stop eating it. So now I got to go back up for 4 hours and DJ with acid indigestion. That's a spicy meatball. But I'm up there, and I'm DJing, and it gets to 1 o'clock. It's showtime's over with at 1 o'clock, and this big old boy in a black suit and tie, sunglasses that night, comes up on the stage with me. He goes, yeah, my father would like to know if you could play another hour. I said, he wants me to go until 2 o'clock? He goes, yeah. I said, okay, because he wants to know how much you'll charge for that. I said, oh, it's going to be really pricey. He said, yeah, we heard that about you DJs, overtime. I said, yeah. I said, you got any more than meatballs and them sausages? He goes, he came back, he brought me a whole catering pan of them homemade meatballs and sausages. I said, you got me till daylight, buddy. Sometimes food was a better price than money.
I hear you.
But that was the best Italian Sicilian food. It was Sicilian food I've ever had in my life.
This is kind of fun interview now because we're all sitting around like we would on porch,
Yep.
Well, Billy, let's see. Well, Billy Joe told me, said everything is looking fine. He got the place all secure, got the ice box full of wine. He said to hurry on over and don't be late. We got 3 lovely women that just won't wait. Do some down south juking, looking for some peace of mind. May the 29th of this month in Crosswood Megabytes.
Yeah, a little down south juking preview right there.
There you go.
Oh, man,
Again,
that's
a
a
great
theme
song.
Don't forget Friday. Don't forget Friday at the fair.
Oh, yeah, well, I don't use, they were saying that they may not, the rest of them may not know that, but it's real simple. How about, the one, I ain't done this in a while, Andy, the one me and Diane McCall wrote that's up for Song of the Year at the Josie Awards now.
Oh, a little deal about the Josie Awards. The last I know, my son Adam is playing bass with Miranda Miller at the Josie Awards.
Oh, man, awesome. Well, I got, let's see, I'm up for 3 awards.
Cool.
Of course, last year I was up for 1. Hey, I feel cool just being nominated because I'm with people like Bobby Flores and, all these guys. It's really,
Yep.
big time.
I found out last Wednesday Adam is playing bass. Now, Adam's a guitar player, but he's playing bass for Miranda Miller, who's there at Nissan Stadium. They're in Nashville. So get your tickets, go out and check these guys out. Great bands.
I told Josie last year, of course I didn't win. Of course, that don't matter. I think everybody that's nominated is a winner in my book, but I told her, I said, man, you really dig into the bottom of the barrel when you get Jerry J. Thomas to put in there amongst Bobby Flores and them guys, ain't you? We get a good laugh of that. I mean, anyway, this is the song of the year. This song's nominated for Song of the Year. You hear that, Lonnie Spiker, if you're listening? I shaved the face of a new man in my mirror just today. I'm trying to break some bad habits. Should I throw this old Zippo away? Reigniting an old flame till it burns brighter than before. We can start that flame tonight on the far side of that door. On the far side of the door, there will be no more crying, 'cause love really isn't dead. Just as long as we keep trying. When I hold you in my arms, closer than I have before, we can fall in love tonight on the far side of that door. Then you take me by the hand, I'm right where I should be, and I ask if you're okay. You smile up at me. We know it isn't wrong, for we both been here before. We'll start that fire tonight on the far side of the door. On the far side of the door, there will be no more denying. Love really isn't dead, as long as we both keep trying. When I hold you in my arms, closer than I have before, we'll start that flame tonight on the far side of the door. When I hold you in my arms, closer than I have before, we'll make sweet love tonight on the far side of that door.
Very nice song.
That is actually one of my favorite songs of yours.
We wish you the best of luck on that one at the Josie Awards. Now, what day is that? Is that
It's this month, in the 17th, 16th, something like that. I won't be able to make it because I'll be tied up doing something else. But if I win, that'll be the year I win that award, probably. But they got me up for male vocalist and traditional male artist, I think, and then Song of the Year. And it would just tickle me. I'd probably pee myself, man, if I won the Song of the Year, because that's what every songwriter wants. You know what I'm saying? Every songwriter, because it means that wow. But just to be nominated, you know.
See,
So it'll be him that needs to depends, not Perry.
Yeah. See, that song right there, and again, I'm not a big country guy, but I can hear Ronnie Millsap doing that song.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like a Ronnie Millsap song.
That song there captures his tone.
It's actually a song that Diane McCall and myself are going to do as a duet. We're going to go. I did it already on that new album, Heartbreak Highway, but as a solo. But me and her's actually going to go and do it as a duet.
You got some great names on the back of that album too. In your liner notes, your favorite people.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
I believe some cat that calls himself Heartthrob. I think he's on there, and I think Awesome Andy. I know the Dr. DJ is.
Yeah.
The DJ Doctor.
I didn't know that I had your
Mark Irish.
I had your CD, the liner, the cover up on the visor, and I had the CD in the thing, and they go, "Hey, you know your name's on the back of the liner notes up there?" I'm like, "What?" And I didn't even know that.
Well, that's because when you guys inspire me. So I don't know.
We
why,
apologize for that.
You guys inspire me. Jason perspires me.
That's just because I'm so hot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You were said hot earlier, wasn't it?
You know, I do a lot of shows with Jason. I mean, we do a lot of songwriting shows. I really enjoy hanging out with him. So,
He's glutton for punishment.
but I only do it because he sings about 300-pound women that blow dry his dishes.
It's a great song.
Yeah, she did. Is that it? She does.
No,
That's a different song.
she sure looks good last night.
That's right. That's it.
Copenhagen Kisses is the best.
Is that what?
Oh, my gosh.
My good.
Funny thing is, I went to karaoke Friday night, and Copenhagen Kisses was there.
You guys have.
Was she really?
Yes, she was there. She's married now.
At Cowboy Up?
Yes.
You got to get him to play you that new song he wrote last night. I was dancing with a man.
No, I didn't write that.
Yeah.
That's the one we were talking about.
He didn't write it, but it was about him, and I was there the night it happened. It is a true song, except for the part where it said Jason was too drunk to realize, and Jason didn't drink at all, so he knew that all 100% cognizant.
Oh man,
He
I
knew
tell
what was
you.
happening.
The worst thing about the Copenhagen Kisses song is James made it look like I took a man home. That was never the case.
So they danced with you all night.
Oh, my Lord.
They did dance with you all night, but it's about a
Not
girl.
by choice.
And I'll give you credit. The girl that the song is technically about was a nice-looking girl.
Yes.
She's a very nice, attractive young lady.
Do we go to 10 o'clock or 9?
We go to 9.
9.
We got 10 minutes left to go.
Okay, well I got my last song already ready. Whenever you're ready for me to do it.
Okay. Real quick, I'm going to talk about myself.
Oh, well, we heard that all day long.
I like the way you did that, though.
We're going to, of course,
He's got stock in the mobile gas company.
we talked about, of course, the 15th, Friday, this coming Friday, we're doing the show at the fairgrounds here in McMinnville. Mm-hmm. Do the whole band down South Jukin.
Yes.
I just got a show on the 21st. I'll be playing in Nashville, 7 to 8 p.m. La Teresa, 2256 Murfreesboro Pike in Nashville. I don't know what it is, but it'll be a
So
song.
that's the way you just book them
Teresa?
on the text message. Yep,
Yeah.
I'm there.
Teresa?
Terraza.
Terasa.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
a
they're going
terrace.
to give you some free Mexican food.
Well, that could be. But I'll be doing that on the 21st.
Good.
The 29th, we're playing at Megabytes in Crossville.
In Crossville.
The 30th will be, I will be up on the smokehouse. Up on Mount Eagle at the smokehouse.
Get their pickles.
Yes, it'll be myself and Chris Long, who we've had on the show, and Tabitha Turrington. I'm sure I said the last name wrong.
Turnington? Tabitha Turnington? Is that how it is?
She'll slap me down originally.
I'm sure. It won't be the first time on stage.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I get slapped down a lot.
You get messed with a lot on stage. I know that. And this Friday show will probably be no different. So.
Oh, yes, right, because we got Perry back. And
You got Perry and you got Richard, who loves to mess with you on stage.
they
Perry
like
likes
to try
mess
to
with
goose me from behind when I'm not paying attention. Both
Oh,
of them.
because it's so. And he knows it's coming, and he screams like a little girl.
I don't know it's coming until it's done there.
No,
I try to
just-
keep eyeballs in the back of my head, but it don't work very well.
I like it when he knows it's coming, and then he can't. He's got to look at Perry, and he looks back at Richard. He looks at Perry, and he's uncomfortable the rest of the night. That's just a beautiful thing.
Well,
So, and again, we want to thank.
It's just abuse, child abuse.
Yeah, yeah. I can. It's mercy killing is about what it's called, but it's our mercy. But we want to thank Chris HeatFMRadio.com for putting us on. I believe tomorrow he's doing our vinyl show.
Vinyl show again, yes.
Yep.
Every Wednesday will be the vinyl
It'll be
show.
10 o'clock Eastern time, I believe. So if you want to hear the vinyl show that we did about the country music, country and Western.
Yes, both genres.
Yes, HeatFMRadio.com tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern, 9 Central. We'll have the Hillbilly Heartthrob and myself, along with Awesome Andy popped in a little bit. I think Velvet Presley popped in a little bit. You'll have us doing
We had a
the
phone call from Rock and Randy.
a phone call from Rock and Randy. That'll all be re-aired tomorrow. And then coming up real soon, we'll have another one for him to switch out with. And Brian, we've got some of the vinyl shows here on our hard drive at the Skyrise Plaza. I don't know if you can access that and send them to Chris. What would I have to do? Just tell you where they're at?
I'll have to look for them.
Yeah, they're in
He
the.
just told you where they're at on the computer.
Yeah, they're on the desktop on our file. The folder that we got for the Family Music Center, or not the Family Music Center, but the Midnight Madness show stuff up there. But there's.
And you found some of the missing Midnight Madness show.
And I found some of the first Midnight Madness show, and the third one I know is
I'm
on
looking
there.
forward to December because we're got a 2-hour blooper show, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, they're all going to be bloopers
You gotta
about
get
you.
started now.
So
We're still making them.
yeah,
Right. I mean,
Have we failed to mention the Artist of the Year?
Artist of the Year. Yeah,
Yes,
we
we
have
have.
failed to mention that, and we're almost halfway through the month.
And we don't need to forget
Well, I
that.
keep
Definitely.
posting it.
So yeah, it's the 2017 FMC Jams, WFMC Jams Artist of the Year contest is going on. We're down to the Sweet 16. Whoever wins this round goes to the final, the 8. We got some really tough contenders going with each other. Make sure you jump on our Facebook page. Go to WFMC Jams. You'll find the brackets. It's kind of like your college football brackets. Go on there. Vote for the artist. You just put their name down in the comment section, hit enter, and you can vote. It's a popularity contest. It's a express how many views they can get. We want to get their names out there as often as we want. So vote for them as many times as you want. But find your artist, and if you like one on the right side of the bracket, you like one on the left side of the bracket, vote for them. That's okay. But
How many months are left in the year?
well, we got this one here. We're finishing off September. Then we're going to be in October. We'll be down to 8. November we'll be down to 4. And December will be the finals.
Okay, so we got 3 months left.
It's going quick.
I think one of the vinyl shows ought to be road music dedicated to truck drivers and bus drivers and
We could
tour
do
bus
that.
drivers.
We could do that.
And it
There's
all
something
be
else you
just
did for
something
traveling
about
music.
the road, you know.
Traveling music. Yeah. We can do that.
You did that for years as well. With
Yeah, I
some of
did.
those boys.
Yes, I did. Anyway, I enjoyed being here with you guys, you know.
Well, we're glad you could make it.
I just wish somebody had thought to bring some of them meatballs.
I hear you. That was great food, buddy.
Hey, anybody out there run a pizza joint, run a couple pizzas up here to us, please.
Yeah, if you can get past the crack security staff on the first floor.
Well, it's been fun. I'll be
I
back.
don't want to see the crack of the security on the first floor.
I'll be back.
Though we're an equal opportunity employer, so sometimes it's all right.
I'll be back. I'll be back Friday if they don't throw me in jail or anything.
Yeah. All right.
Here's a title code of my my newest album. It has become one of my favorites, and it may become one of Mark's favorites one day.
All right.
It's a bluesy little thing, kind of.
Love blues.
The sun comes up in nowhere, Texas. There's a bottle by the bed. Last night I tried to drown her memory that keeps running beside my head. Now this old guitar is my only friend now. And that's my truck parked right outside. Another lonely road lies before me. On this heartbreak I'm trying to hide. A heartbreak highway, it goes on forever. It gets down deep inside of your soul, leaves you feeling so defeated. Heartbreak highway takes control. On the day she left, I turned to drinking. I couldn't stand to hear her last goodbye. She tried so hard to keep our love together, but I'm the fool that let true love die. Heartbreak highway, it goes on forever. It gets down deep inside your very soul, leaves you feeling so defeated. Heartbreak highway takes control. Heartbreak highway, take me home.
Mr. Jerry J. Thomas, everybody. Jerry, we appreciate you coming on as a guest instead of just being a DJ with us from time to time. You heard what they say about them DJs, right?
Yeah, they don't get paid jack crap hardly, you know. I have to go back to singing, you know.
Yeah,
Don't
I hear
even get no free meatballs.
Yeah, I hear you. I got paid and got free meatballs that night.
Hey, I hear you, little buddy. I need to learn your secret.
I hear you. Jason, what's our artist next week?
Next week we have Mick Kite and Bob D. Young.
Bob DeYoung.
Now, Bob is also bringing a guest with him, but he did not give me a name of the guest. so-
Okay, so it's a mystery guest.
Mystery
It's kind of like, what was that show way back in the old days? I could see the guy.
Pinata guest.
Oh, I could see the guy. He was on a lot of the old game shows. Soupy Sales, like the old Soupy Sales show. You never know who was behind the door.
Who in the heck is Soupy Sales?
Well, there's an infamous Soupy
Wished
Sales
we had
episode.
a cream pie, and I'd show him who should be there.
Yeah, yeah. He kind of had. Soupy Sales had he was always on like game shows like What's My Line and all that kind of stuff. But Soupy Sales was a comedian back in the old days, and then on his stage, he had a wall set up and had a doorway in there, and he'd get knocked on, and he'd open up, and people would come through, kind of like Dean Martin had. You never know who was behind the door, and Dean would have special guests come in.
Who's Dean Martin?
Yeah, exactly.
Shut up!
I'll be heading home here real soon. My day just started there, Andy. I got some work I got to get done, Dale.
Be sure to call at 5 o'clock in the morning to Andy.
Yes, I will, because I have to take my wife to work at 5. But I got to put a rear end in a recliner, so it's going to be all night job, probably.
Well, again, we appreciate you coming out. Make sure you listen to HeatFMRadio.com tomorrow. You got the Midnight Madness show from WFNC Jams going to be aired on from
Midnight Madness.
Chris. It won't be a Midnight Madness show, but it's going to be on the WFNC Jams channel. They're going to be rehosting that tomorrow. So thank you, Chris, for replaying that for us.
Brian, thank you for everything you've done tonight. He's asleep already? We had to send Jason over there with that.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
There he is.
Oh, you woke up just in time before I sent the.
We give Brian a hard time, but without him, none of this would be possible.
Yep,
He is-
exactly.
he is-
Brian's my little buddy. You leave him alone.
He's the brains behind the outfit.
I'll have Ober just tear
and I'm
you
just
up.
the looks.
I'll have
Yeah.
Hey, you ever mess with Brian, I'm gonna have Ober embalm you.
And he ain't lying there. So, again, thank you, Chris, from HeatFMRadio.com. Thank you for that.
You heard it, Brian.
Hey, we'll put him on stage.
Yeah.
He'll be taxidermy.
Then we'll get one of the whoopee cushions behind him. So we
in the nation.
we'll put a whoopee cushion behind Jason about every third song. We'll go, yeah. Hey, it's like he's really here. Yeah, so, but again, I want to thank
Remember that,
everybody
you
for
are the
being here.
drummer stuck behind me.
Hey, that's why I try to center myself off center from you.
It's been a great day. It's been a great evening with you guys. I love you all to death. And remember, everybody, gas up tomorrow because, gas went real
prefer
high in
not
the last
to.
couple of weeks. But
Yeah, due to the Harvey and the Boyd down there. So, again, we wish everyone the best down there in Louisiana, Texas, Florida, and any other state that might be involved. I know Georgia got a little bit, South Carolina got some. We just got a little bit of rain today, nothing much, but I guess we're supposed to get some rain tomorrow too. But
and to the families of Don Williams and Troy Gentry, if they're listening in, our thoughts and prayers are with you during this time. So God
Yes.
bless you.
Yes.
And also to our own buddy here from Incognito, to the family and friends who are still in town, to James Hammonds, we'll sorely miss you. I was at his funeral Saturday, and it's just sad to bury someone so young so soon. So we wish him and the family all the best for him. So with that, I am Mark the DJ Doctor for Andy, awesome himself. We got Miss Velvet Presley. We have the one, the only Hunkiness to my right.
That's right. Don't you forget it.
And then we got Brian down there in NASA Control. I am Mark the DJ Doctor. Thank you, Jerry. And with all, good night.